Welcome to Siberia.
There is a place where silence weighs more than the cold. Siberia, a territory where snow does not fall, it dominates. Here, the wind does not whisper, it roars. And amid the white immensity, shadows move with ancestral precision. They are the wolves, the most lethal pack on the planet. This is a world carved by ice. 11 million square kilometers of taiga and tundra, where winter is not a season, but a way of existence. Temperatures drop to 60 degrees below zero. The air becomes crystal. Breathing hurts. And yet, life persists. Among the frost-covered birches, something moves. A grey silhouette emerges, with the elegance of one who knows every inch of its territory. Its amber eyes scan the horizon with an intensity that chills more than the climate itself. The Siberian wolf. Its fur is a masterpiece of evolution, dense, with 2 layers that trap body heat even when the thermometer marks impossible figures. It can measure up to 2 meters and weigh more than 80 kilograms of muscle and determination. But what defines this animal is not its size. It is its gaze. A gaze that has contemplated death 1,000 times and never blinked. It is not alone. Behind it, emerging from the morning mist like specters from another time, the others appear. 8 wolves moving as a single entity. Their paws barely leave prints on the hardened snow. There are no barks, no unnecessary growls. Only the sound of perfect bodies moving through a territory that has belonged to them since before maps existed. Instinct never sleeps. The alpha raises his muzzle toward the wind. His nostrils dilate, processing thousands of particles of information. There is something there, something that transforms these contemplative animals into what they truly are. Predators. The alpha female emits a low sound, almost imperceptible. An order, the rest of the pack responds with subtle movements, ears that tilt, tails that adjust their position, muscles that tense. Something is about to begin. In the distance, a silhouette moves, large, 4-legged, unaware of the danger. The wolves do not need to see each other to know what to do. Years of hunting together have created a bond that goes beyond blood. The wild Siberia is about to show its true face. The youngest of the pack, a male barely 2 years old, steps forward with poorly disguised anxiety. A look from the alpha stops him cold. There is no room for impatience here. Hunting in Siberia is not a sprint. It is a marathon of endurance and strategy. The wolves that survive are those who understand that every premature movement can mean days without food. Patience is as deadly as fangs. The sun continues its lazy ascent over the horizon. At these latitudes, during the deepest winter, it barely rises for a few hours before hiding again. Light is a scarce resource, almost as valuable as food. The wolves know this. Their entire lives are synchronized with these ancestral rhythms of light and darkness, of abundance and scarcity. The Siberian taiga slowly awakens around them. A raven caws in the distance. The cracking of a branch announces the presence of something alive among the trees. The wolves' ears rotate like antennas, capturing frequencies that no human could perceive. They can hear the heartbeat of prey hundreds of meters away. They can detect the crunch of snow under nervous hooves. They can smell fear. And fear in Siberia has an unmistakable scent. The Siberian moose is an imposing creature. With more than 2 meters in height and a weight exceeding 600 kilograms, it seems invincible. Its antlers are defensive weapons capable of breaking ribs. Its hooves can fracture skulls. But today, this old male is alone. Solitude in Siberia is a sentence. Animals that wander without a group rarely survive a complete winter. This moose knows it. Its movements betray nervousness. Its head constantly turns searching for threats. The wolves observe. The alpha has divided the pack without audible orders. 3 remain with him. 2 move toward the left flank. The others circle from the right among the trees with a slowness that contradicts the urgency of their empty stomachs. There is no rush, only precision. The hunting strategy of the Siberian wolf has been perfected over hundreds of thousands of years. It is not brute force. It is the deep understanding that every prey has weaknesses that teamwork can exploit. The moose stops. It has perceived something. Too late. The first wolf emerges, forcing it to move toward where the others wait. The second appears, closing another escape route. The moose turns, confused, its instinct screaming to run but not knowing where. The alpha launches his body with an explosion of contained energy. He does not seek the neck yet. He seeks the hind legs. The female attacks from the other side, perfect synchrony. The wolves work in rotation. When one bites and retreats, another takes its place. The moose fights with every gram of strength it possesses, but it is surrounded. It is bleeding. The young wolf finds his moment. His jaws close with more than 150 kilograms of pressure per square centimeter. The fangs penetrate until finding the artery. Silence. The moose falls. The respect between predator and prey is a ritual as ancient as these lands. The pack has eaten well. The alpha eats first. It is the law. Then the dominant female. Afterward, in order of hierarchy, the others. The wolves devour with brutal efficiency. Their jaws tear frozen flesh. An adult wolf can consume up to 10 kilograms in a single session. Blood stains the snow dark red. Around them, other eyes observe. A raven, an Arctic fox waiting for its turn. Even a brown bear sniffs the air from a distant hill. Nothing is wasted in Siberia. The sun begins its early descent. The wolves, with muzzles stained with blood, rest. They are part of this land in a way that no outsider could understand. Night approaches, and with it, a new dimension of dangers and opportunities. The younger wolves play among themselves after being satisfied. It is a behavior that seems to contradict the image of the ruthless predator. But play has a function. It strengthens social bonds. It trains combat skills. It establishes subtle hierarchies without the need for direct confrontation. The pack is a family, with all the complexities that implies. The alpha rests apart, vigilant. Even in moments of apparent relaxation, his senses remain alert. A pack leader cannot afford the luxury of total distraction. There are other wolves in the territory, rival packs that would compete for the same resources, solitary males that would seek to challenge him. The alpha's crown is defended every day. The golden light of the Arctic sunset bathes the scene with an almost unreal beauty. The wolves lie on the snow. Their fur blends with the landscape. They are part of this land in a way that no outsider could understand. Each of them is the result of countless generations that were born, hunted, and died in these same forests. The Siberian darkness falls like a curtain. What during the day was a landscape of whites and grays transforms into a universe of shadows where every sound is amplified and every movement takes on meaning. The temperature drops even further. The wolves regroup. Their bodies draw closer, seeking the shared warmth that has kept their species alive through ice ages. They curl up, protecting the most vulnerable in the center, while the strongest guard the perimeter. It is not tenderness. It is survival. The stars emerge with a clarity impossible in more polluted skies. The moon illuminates the snow with a ghostly glow. The wolves' eyes capture that scarce light with dilated pupils. They can see almost as well at night as during the day. The alpha rises. His ears turn toward the north. A howl comes from kilometers away with an unmistakable message. Another pack claims territory. The wolf's howl is one of the most sophisticated communications in the animal kingdom. It can transmit location, group size, intention. It can be warning, invitation, or declaration of war. This one is a warning. The alpha responds. His voice rises from the depths of his chest, piercing the night with a power that makes the fur stand up on every animal for kilometers around. One by one, the others join. The chorus builds in layers. Deep and high voices intertwine, creating a harmony that seems impossible. Perfect acoustic intimidation. The rival howl ceases. Silence. Finally, a response. Weaker, more distant. The message has been understood. This territory is occupied by a strong pack. The confrontation has been avoided, but it is not always so. Territorial conflicts are some of the most violent events in Siberian nature. When two groups meet and neither backs down, the result is a combat where serious injuries are common and deaths are not rare. The territory border is an invisible but real line. The wolves mark it constantly with urine and secretions. Each mark is a chemical message containing information about the individual, their health, their hierarchical position. The alpha patrols these borders regularly. It is a territory of more than 1,000 square kilometers that must be constantly defended. Every known tree is a beacon of orientation. Every rock, every frozen stream, has meaning in the mental map that each wolf builds from birth. Knowledge is transmitted from generation to generation. The young learn by observing. They memorize hunting routes. They absorb the survival lessons that their ancestors accumulated over millennia. It is an education without words, but incredibly effective. The moon reaches its highest point. The wolves cross a clearing where the snow shines like a field of diamonds. For a moment, the scene has a beauty that transcends brutality. They run together with a joy that seems genuine. They are complex animals, contradictory, capable of tenderness within the group and ferocity against intruders, capable of infinite patience and explosions of energy. Dawn is still far away, but the Siberian night has already revealed some of its truths. The alpha female stops by a rocky outcrop. This place has special meaning. Here, in past springs, she has dug dens to give birth to her pups. The stone walls offer protection against wind and predators. It is a site that has seen entire generations of her family, line-born. The memory of the place remains. The wind changes direction, bringing new scents from the east. Reindeer, a large herd, probably migrating toward more accessible pastures. The wolves store this information for future hunts. They will not act tonight. They are satisfied. But the location of that herd will remain engraved in their collective memory. As the pack continues its patrol under the stars, the forest watches. Silent, eternal, waiting. The social structure of a wolf pack is a government without a written constitution, but with unbreakable laws. Every individual knows their place, and at the center of everything, the alpha pair maintains control that depends as much on respect as on fear. The alpha male was not born a leader. He conquered his position 6 winters ago in a combat that left scars still visible beneath his thick fur. His rival did not die in the fight, but was left so weakened that the following winter finished what the combat began. That is how power works in nature. His mate is equally formidable, while the male dominates through physical strength. She governs through selective aggression and strategic alliances. She knows which subordinates are loyal, which represent future threats. Nothing escapes her observation. Below the dominant pair, the hierarchy branches out. The second male is the alpha's brother, a wolf of nearly 70 kilograms, who accepts his subordinate position in exchange for security and preferential access to food. Peace has incalculable value. The youngest wolf occupies the lowest rung. He is the omega, the receiver of minor aggressions, the last to eat. But this position has its function. The omega is a release valve for group tensions, a necessary sacrifice for cohesion. Communication between members is a ballet of subtle signals. Ears speak volumes. Erect means dominance. Flattened signals submission. Tail position is equally eloquent. The wolves converse constantly without making a sound. This morning, an unusual tension runs through the pack. One of the subordinate males has been showing behaviors that subtly challenge the established hierarchy. Glances that last a second longer than appropriate, approaches to food before his turn, the alpha has noticed. The confrontation arrives without apparent warning. The subordinate approaches where the alpha female rests. It is a clear transgression. Only the alpha has the right to that proximity. Low growls tear the silence. The alpha interposes himself with speed that belies his size. Rigid body, fur bristling, lips retracted showing fangs. Physical contact is not yet necessary. The subordinate has two options: challenge the alpha risking death, or show immediate submission accepting his inferior place. He chooses submission. His body flattens against the snow. His tail disappears between his legs. His muzzle touches the ground in the most extreme gesture of subordination. He even briefly exposes his belly. The alpha accepts, but does not forget. This subordinate has been marked. He will be watched more closely. If he persists in his behavior, the next confrontation will end in blood. The pack observes in silence. Each member absorbs the lesson. The hierarchy has been publicly reaffirmed, but everyone knows this balance is temporary. The young grow, the old weaken. Ambitions never disappear. It has always been so. Social drama is only one part of the complex existence of these animals. Crucial, but not unique. The forest waits with its infinite hunger. Change comes slowly to Siberia. There is no specific day where winter ends and spring begins. It is a prolonged negotiation between the cold that resists leaving and the warmth that insists on arriving. Days lengthen. Snow begins to yield. The tiger breathes again. For the pack, this period is the most critical of the year. The alpha female is pregnant. Her belly, swollen with the promise of new life, limits her movements and makes her vulnerable in ways she would never experience under other circumstances. The den has been prepared. It is the same rocky outcrop she has used before. For weeks, she has dug with her front paws, deepening the natural shelter until creating a chamber where body heat is conserved. The entrance tunnel is narrow, designed to prevent access by intruders. A bastion against the world. The alpha watches constantly. He hunts more frequently, bringing food directly to his mate. He patrols the surroundings with an almost obsessive intensity. Paternal instinct is not exclusive to humans. One morning, when the sun finally feels warm, the female retreats into the darkness of the den. The hours that follow are a mystery to everyone except her. The alpha waits outside, restless. Tense silence. Then, from the depths, new sounds. High-pitched whimpers. The crying of creatures that have just met the world. 5 pups. They are born blind, deaf, completely dependent. Their eyes will not open until after 2 weeks. They are incapable of regulating their temperature, incapable of surviving hours without maternal warmth. The extreme fragility of beginnings. The female will not abandon the den during the first days. Her body produces milk rich in fats and proteins. In barely a month, the pups will triple their birth weight. In 6 months, they will participate in their first real hunts, but that is still far away. The new mother obsessively cleans her offspring. Her rough tongue stimulates circulation. She arranges them against her belly with delicate movements that contradict the violence she is capable of during a hunt. Here there is no predator, only mother. The rest of the pack assumes new roles. Hunting intensifies. All adults will bring food to the nursing mother. In a wolf pack, reproduction is a collective project. Weeks pass with a speed that defies the slowness of winter. The pups open their eyes, revealing bluish irises that will gradually transform into amber. Their first wobbly steps cause constant falls. Their first attempts at howling are pathetic compared to the pack's choruses. The pack's future takes shape. Of these 5 pups, statistically only 2 or 3 will survive to adulthood. Disease, accidents, predators, all will take their toll. But those who survive will carry this pair's genes to the next generation. Spring explodes in unexpected colors. The pups watch when adults bring small prey, alive but injured, for them to practice. A limping rabbit, a stunned mouse. The first hunting lessons are brutal but essential. There is no room for prolonged innocence. By the time summer reaches its peak, the pups will be miniature versions of adults. They will run with the pack. They will observe hunts. They will absorb the lessons that will determine if they live long enough to repeat this cycle. The wheel turns, as it has turned for thousands of generations. Wolves do not exist in isolation. They are a piece of an ecological puzzle of astonishing complexity. Every predation, every territorial patrol, every nocturnal howl sends waves that reverberate through the entire Siberian ecosystem. The Siberian tiger shares this territory. It is the largest feline on the planet. An adult male can exceed 300 kilograms. Unlike wolves, it hunts alone. Its strategy is the perfect ambush. Its preferred prey are the same ungulates that feed the packs. Competition is inevitable, but there is rarely direct confrontation. Tigers avoid wolf packs. Wolves avoid tigers. It is a tacit agreement forged by millions of years of coevolution. A delicate balance. The Siberian brown bear represents another force. These giants, which can reach 600 kilograms, are not specialized predators, but are lethal opportunists. A hungry bear can steal prey from an entire pack. The hierarchy of power has many layers. The Arctic fox thrives on the leftovers that large predators leave behind. Its white fur makes it invisible while it waits patiently. The wolverine, despite its modest size, possesses a ferocity that defies all proportion. It has been seen confronting solitary wolves for control of prey. Prey sustains this entire edifice. The Siberian moose is the greatest prize. Reindeer migrate in herds of thousands, offering seasonal opportunities. Roe deer hide in dense vegetation. Each species has its niche. Rodents are the base of countless food chains. Birds connect this world with distant continents. Siberian cranes migrate thousands of kilometers each year. Snowy owls hunt with efficiency that rivals any mammal. Ravens serve as the forest's intelligence service. Beneath the surface, rivers teem with life. Pacific salmon swim up impossible currents to spawn. Their death after spawning fertilizes the riverside forests with marine nutrients. Bears know this. Wolves have also learned to take advantage of this abundance. Even plants play critical roles. Lichens are food for reindeer. Birches provide bark that some herbivores consume when everything else is scarce. Permafrost stores carbon accumulated over millennia. Everything is connected. When wolves hunt a moose, they do not only feed the pack. The carcass nourishes dozens of species. Nutrients filter into the soil. Plants grow more vigorous. Herbivores congregate, attracted by that vegetation. Wolves return to hunt. The circle closes. This interconnection means that any change affects everyone. When wolf populations decline, herbivores multiply without control. Overgrazing damages vegetation. Erosion increases. The wolf is not just a predator, it is an architect of the landscape, a population regulator, an ecological engineer whose presence or absence determines the health of entire systems. Dusk brings the sounds of an ecosystem functioning as it should. Howls mix with the hooting of owls. Each sound is a note in a symphony that has played for eons, the harmony of apparent chaos. Every pack that disappears leaves a void felt through countless species that never had direct contact with any wolf. It is a role that no human has managed to artificially replicate, despite centuries of attempts. Wild Siberia is a living organism, and wolves are its immune system, eliminating the weak, maintaining healthy populations, ensuring that only the fittest transmit their genes. The cracking of branches reveals the passage of a moose. The distant splashing suggests a bear fishing in some stream. Each sound is a note in a symphony that has played for eons without needing a conductor. Winter returns as it always does. The first snowfalls cover the tracks of a summer that seemed too brief. Days shorten. The pack prepares for another cycle of survival in the harshest corner of the planet. The spring pups are now young wolves. Of the 5 that were born, 4 have survived. It is an exceptional rate that speaks of the rich territory and the parents' experience. These young wolves run alongside the adults with growing confidence. They have witnessed hunts. Soon, they will participate actively. The cycle repeats. The alpha shows the first signs of age. His muzzle has more gray hairs. His movements lack the explosiveness of his youth. At some point, a subordinate will detect that weakness and launch his challenge. That is how nature works. Power is not permanent. Strength fades. Only genes continue, passing from generation to generation in a chain that connects these wolves with ancestors who hunted mammoths thousands of years ago. But the chain is threatened. The Siberia that these wolves know is changing. Permafrost is melting at an unprecedented rate. Summers are longer and hotter. Forest fires devour expanses of taiga that once remained safe. Change is invisible day by day, but devastating on the scale of decades. Migratory routes of prey are altered. Species that never inhabited these latitudes begin to appear. Diseases that the cold kept at bay find favorable conditions. The delicate balance that sustained this ecosystem for millennia is faltering. The wolves feel these changes, although they cannot understand them. Hunts are less predictable. Traditional territories no longer offer the same abundance. Climate patterns that guided their ancestors' movements become erratic. Wisdom accumulated over generations begins to fail. It is not their fault. The carbon dioxide that warms the atmosphere did not come from any wolf den. The industries that poison the rivers operate thousands of kilometers away. The political decisions that determine the fate of this land are made in offices that no wolf has ever seen. Yet they are the ones who pay the consequences. Siberia seems eternal when viewed from the comfort of a documentary. But that perception is a dangerous illusion. This territory exists in a balance that our species has the power to destroy or to protect. Every forest that is preserved is a refuge for future packs. Every ton of reduced emissions is more breathable air for pups that will be born in distant springs. Every conscious decision has repercussions that reach even these remote corners. The connection is real, even if invisible. Siberian wolves do not ask for our help. They have survived ice ages without human intervention. But never before have they faced a threat like this. Never before has the climate changed so fast. This time is different. The pack we have followed represents something more than predators in a remote territory. It represents the persistence of the wild in an increasingly domesticated world. It represents the possibility that our descendants will inherit a planet where places still exist, where nature writes its own rules. The alpha's howl tears through the Siberian night once more. It is a sound that could be silenced forever if we do not act in time, or that could continue resonating for millennia if we choose to protect what remains. The decision is ours. The wolves will continue hunting while they can. They will continue forming packs, raising pups, defending territories, but their future no longer depends only on sharp fangs. It depends on us, on the decisions we make today, on the forests we protect tomorrow. Silence returns to the taiga. The pack rests. The pups sleep, piled on top of each other. The alpha watches from an elevation. his silhouette outlined against a sky where auroras begin to dance. It is an image of peace, a peace that could last eternally or vanish in a few decades. The difference is in our hands. If you felt the power of this journey, like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you do not miss the next stories of nature in its purest state. Until next time.